What the news experts and news pundits have called the economic recovery, well, just got exposed. And we're going to talk more about that. Now, first, just a couple quick updates here, and then we'll move on to the news. My last video, I talked about the eviction ban being overturned by a judge. Well, just a couple hours after I put that out, the decision by that judge to overturn the eviction ban, meaning people would have started getting kicked out of their homes, that decision was basically put on pause because there's an appeal in place. So the government doesn't want, of course, millions of people being homeless all at once. That would not look so good on the leadership, so to speak. So we'll continue to follow that drama there, the saga with the evictions. One more thing before we get into the news. Patrons, I am very sorry. Something happened at Patreon, and I had 30 something messages that I couldn't read, and I contacted Patreon, and they said they didn't see anything on their end. But even before this, there had been some issues with some of you saying that you tried to join it and you couldn't join. So that thing is the Patreon now is now down. So I might just start up a second channel here on YouTube instead of Patreon, and that way you'll get it for free. So to everyone that was supporting me on Patreon, thank you so much. And I'm sorry about what happened over there. But now you'll get the same analysis for free, and I'll let you know as soon as I get that second channel up and running. And good news, the intro music is going to be over at the new channel. So to those of you that like the intro and the outro music, I'm going to put up the full songs, and these are all my songs, at the other channel here. I'll let you know as soon as it's up. There's also going to be other ways you can interact with me over there and support me, but it's going to be right here on YouTube, so it's not going to be subject to a different platforms functions. So I think it's going to be much easier for everyone involved. Let's get into the news here. Here's the latest number out of CNBC. The jobless claims have tumbled below 500,000 in this latest week here. Another sign the labor market is getting closer to pre-Great Sickness levels. Now, as we do every week, let's go down and take a look at a chart here on this. And if we look to the far right here, we see that we're just under 500,000 new jobless filings. Now, you may think that's great because it's a post-pandemic low, but look at pre-pandemic, again, nowhere near where we were to begin with. We're still about 3 to 4 times higher. And let's also add the new jobs numbers and do the math on this. So let's just say 500,000 times 4, which is 4 weeks, which is a month approximately. You still have about 2 million people filing for new jobless filings, new jobless claims. All right, so keep that number in your head, 2 million. Now let's look at this article. 742,000 jobs added for the entire month of April, and this just came out yesterday, May 5th. This is the latest number. So we're still at 2 million new jobless filings versus 740 something thousand new jobs added. So you don't have to be a mathematician to figure out that this economic recovery is not even close to what they're claiming that it really is. You're going to have more people dependent on constant payouts. That's why you have more and more talk of monthly stimulus checks. And we talked about how the child tax credit is going to be transformed into parents now getting monthly checks later on during the 2021. We talked about that just a few reports ago right here in this video. And I fully expect to continue to see the step towards just permanent handouts every month to people. And if you thought that businesses were having a struggle now trying to find workers, just wait until the permanent handouts begin to everyone. Right now, some people are getting permanent handouts, but when most people start getting permanent handouts, you're really going to have a tough time finding workers, especially small businesses. Now, remember, a lot of the big businesses, they can rely more on automation and AI. You have the menus at McDonald's, and you have warehouses now being 90% automated in some cases. If you look at Amazon, and other companies are joining in on the action. We have pizza delivery drones, or little cars, little autonomous vehicles. And yes, they also have delivery drones. We've talked about those here. So the mega corporations, they can more easily get through this because they can rely more on automation. But the little mom and pop shops, small, medium businesses, in my opinion, are going to continue to struggle throughout this turning point in the economy. But in certain areas, some payouts are being pulled back. Here's a recent article here, CNBC. Montana opts to end $300 unemployment boost. Other states may also do the same. And look at the subheadline right here. There are offers now of $1,200 for people to return to work as a bonus to address the labor shortage. So basically, they're acknowledging what some people said didn't exist. They're acknowledging that the enhanced benefits discourage people from going back to work. And we've talked about that here. Oh, that's a no-brainer. Who wants to go listen to complaining customers, stand on their feet all day, versus sitting at home, maybe playing video games and getting paid for it? So now in Montana, with this, what they're calling return to work initiative, workers will get the $1,200 if they had an active unemployment claim as of May 4th and worked 4 full weeks. So instead of encouraging people not to work, they're encouraging people to go back to work with that bonus. But we'll see how it turns out if more states are going to follow the lead of Montana. But with the pay that a lot of these companies are offering, it's still going to be very tempting to just sit back and maybe live at home and collect payouts. Next, let's talk about the shortages and rising grocery prices. Another recent article here. This is Axios. 2021, the year of surprise shortages. Now, if you've been on this channel, you're not surprised at all, and you probably have been stocking up on some canned goods because you knew this was coming. We have more severe weather patterns. We have the labor situation with the shutdown and the sickness. And now a lot of people choosing not to work because of the other situation that we just talked about with the payouts. But they're talking about it right here. The lumber prices are skyrocketing. The auto industry has really slowed production. We have the chip shortage. We have the huge backup in cargo. Then on top of that, all the new lending and people with cash going out bidding up prices of cars. And then we have the restaurant industry and the chicken shortage. Remember, we had a lot of farms shut down during the sickness. And then we also had a lot of bad weather. Look at what happened in Texas. A lot of farms got shut down, plus more farm bankruptcies have been occurring, as we've recently discussed, and it all leads to shortages. And will the chicken shortage lead to maybe more businesses closing down? Well, we'll have to see, but it looks like we're headed in that direction. And this is out of CBS here. Restaurants face a nationwide chicken shortage. So a lot of these jobs may be gone once the chicken runs out. Or maybe a bunch of new farms will pop up and the chicken shortage will be resolved. We'll have to see. We'll continue to follow that story. But if you are someone that buys groceries, and most people do, you notice probably the prices have went up steeply. Again, no surprise if you've been on this channel. We've been warning about this for years. We have too much spending and not enough production, and that's going to lead to rising prices. It's pretty simple. When you have hundreds of millions of people out of the labor force and not working, not producing anything, but yet still getting an income via whatever type of payout it may be, you're going to see rising prices. 10% for meat and poultry, over 10% for some different types of poultry. Chicken here over 11%, eggs up over 6%, cheese over 6%. So it's going to get tough out there, and if it's not already getting tough for you, get ready, because we don't really see much here that's going to reverse this trend of what's happening with the rising prices. Finally, recent update to the labor force participation rate. Also, not much of a recovery there. We did see a bounce right when the shutdowns began. We saw the big drop, and we still have not recovered at all. Maybe less than 50% towards where we were before the Great Sickness emerged. So it's not looking so good. Continue to prepare. Thanks everybody for being here. Again, thanks to everyone that supported me on Patreon. Keep an eye out on this channel. Keep an eye out. We're going to have an update very soon with the other channel that you can follow me at. And we'll try to talk about some of the things that we talked about over on that other platform. All right, until next time, everybody, thank you for watching. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared. Bye for now. Peace.